This is called American Martyrs. Renee Good was a mother shot by ICE in the street. She was armed with a whistle as she tried to retreat. Alex Pretty was shot while knelt at their feet. Add one execution to Donald's rap sheet. More lives will be iced before his defeat. An intensive care nurse was Pretty a threat? Is ICE Trump's paramilitary? Is that your mindset? Combat wrenches the soul to the dark of the night, irrespective of cause or you think you're right. Pretty helped veterans return to the light. Was his death execution in a one-sided fight? In American cities, the brown shirts run amok. Watch Alex's death, you will be horror-struck. Greg Bavino's ICE timesheet, as it marked pretty good. Executed a nurse, can't be misunderstood. Todd Blanche is the ink on your pardon yet dry. You will have need of that when it's guilt you deny. Pick a backyard dictator and say he has to go for an Epstein distraction that was quite a show. So you'll run Venezuela like Bush did Iraq. How many sons of America never came back? We will run Venezuela. What on earth does that mean? Fox News say there's someone who runs the canteen. If Maduro coughs up from his Swiss bank account, will he also be pardoned for an eye-watering amount? Your texts about Greenland with Norway's PM show that inside your head it's total mayhem. To threaten an ally shows you must be insane. Denmark is in NATO, which you help to maintain. Denmark and Norway share 3 letters and snow. Seizing Greenland's phase 2 of total Donro. Can you tell any more who's your friend from your foe? You must think that anywhere's within Delta's reach, but they don't aid dictators whom the people impeach. International norms are disdained from on high. You left 66 groups. What does that signify? America first and to hell with the lies. Front row seats as we watch the old order's demise. To pretend Donald's sane when he clearly is not. Is there no one who'll say we must stop the rot? But his toking's too strong. Someone check his spliff. He is leading America straight off a cliff. Jack Smith outlines coldly your criminal intent. In truth, it's a coup you are trying to foment. The evidence laid out in the starkest detail points to where you belong, and that's in the jail. Davos marked a low point for the US and you. Shock and awe at the drivel you endlessly spew. You slandered the dead of the countries who fought. The Gold Star allied families must have been left distraught. The words of a draft dodger immune to his shame, the host of a game show, your claim to fame. You fled from the jungles and old Uncle Cho. These bone spurs are pesky and mean I can't go. The military must have loathed your birthday parade. To march past a coward was a grotesque charade. Davos drivel from a man whose hubris and lies means truth is a stranger, but to no one's surprise. Was this ploughing the trough of your ridiculed reign? the breathtaking gibberish, the decayed soul and brain. A low water mark of ridiculous pap, that D's not for Donald on your liberty cap. The 25th Amendment has not been triggered yet. Are you waiting for war? Is that the mindset? There is no rhyme or reason to his politics of spite, while the dignity of a POTUS long passed from sight. The East Wing disappeared in a great pile of dust, your gift to a nation as it slowly goes bust. Paid for with the cash from your sycophant mob, while you fired the sextet who'd have puked at the job. With the world in dire straits, it's sure great to know your only real legacy and what you'll bestow is not some seat of learning where great minds coalesce, but a crass tacky ballroom. How does that prepossess? A palace of tat or Donald's bordello, where Mar-a-Lago faced dimwits wrestle in jello. It's an Arc de Trump next, but to celebrate what? America's lost liberties, your fascist Camelot. Perhaps you suspect there'll be nothing left when all trace is destroyed of your reign of theft. No kings proved the people aren't too cowed to protest. 7 million whose voices said we won't be oppressed. With a maniac at the helm who shits on you from above, tell me which America do you profess to love? Stand up and be counted, or see freedoms burn, while all Trump cares about is how much he can earn. But who's in the background pulling Trump's strings? Who's the Svengali who waits in the wings? Is it Miller or Vance who directs the US, while elites get more favors for quid pro quo largesse? Each day poor America is torn limb from limb. Are the chances of saving her now very slim? Is there really still doubt about Trump's mini stroke? For one leading America, that is far from a joke. The right part of his face drooped to one side, but it's something the White House is desperate to hide. Phonemic paraphasia is a pretty big phrase. How long before dementia spells the end of your days? Fear not, Magamites, Vance is waiting to pounce. Will he sack Vaught and Miller and go on to denounce the policies that are bringing the US to her knees, shredded federal departments bereft of expertise? But JD's in the background, scheming no doubt, to be king when Trump flails, and what's the best route? To get billionaire backing, where do I stick my snout? And what then of Miller, the Nazi Cub Scout, the ultra-right's pageboy, and Trumpy's mahout? When it's your script that ends, can I write fade out? The longest shutdown in history caused hardship and pain, but did Trump move an inch to ease the burden and strain? Screw the vermin who voted to put you in there. Screw the weak, poor and sick. Why should you care? They fell for your rhetoric, your lies and fake spin. You'd have lied to your mother just for the win. MAGA diehards must see what to all is now true. Trump doesn't give a shit about any of you. He never did, does or will care if you live or die, immune to your suffering and the tears that you cry. Is there anyone left now in the sad MAGA camp? Trump regrets that to eat you need a food stamp. SNAP payments were halted when you put on the brake. Like Marie Antoinette, was it let them eat cake? King Donald who fiddles while Rome turns to ash. But it's A-OK, Donald, Maduro's paid cash. Cash in hand matters most to this President Grift, and if you want a pardon, that's his favorite gift. Brown paper packages tied up with string, while the Trump family tail makes another ka-ching. Hernandez and Zhao spring to mind straight away. They weren't pardoned for free. How much did they pay? Michelle Fiore spent thousands for a lawman shot dead, on new bits for her body and a wedding instead. 77 enablers of all your year 20 lies were absolved of all wrongdoing, to no one's surprise. Giuliani, Powell and Meadows from Don's corrupt team, with Eastman architecting the fake electors' scheme. These trumpets form a coterie immune from the law. With a weaponized DOJ, how much more is in store? When you pardon criminals, do you even care? Zhao aided Al-Qaeda, or were you unaware? Zhao gave us state secrets on China's Jinping. He takes a 9 in a sneaker and is slightly left-wing. Martin Luther said indulgences were corrupt to their core. Shame Ed Martin can't be nailed to Wittenberg church door. World Liberty Financial got its cash in the end. The Trumps won't go short, so that's a godsend. Epstein's files were redacted just as we thought. Trump's billionaire friends get what they sought. How much did your zillionaire friends have to pay? What message do you think the redactions convey? But the full Epstein files will see the light. Many victims went public to wage the good fight. Most were mere girls lured by pimping Ghislaine. Such abuse lasts a lifetime of pain. Did Victoria choose death as her only release? If there is a God, may she rest in peace. Who doubts you will pardon Epstein's pimp in the end? You don't give a crap about the message you'll send. US jurisprudence will record Bondi's name as America's law chief, wreathed in infinite shame. The enabler of a cult that brought the US to her knees, wreathed in garlands of mendacity, duplicity, and sleaze. ICE martyrs a mother, but no one's contrite, while US fascists revel in your country's twilight. And what's rammed down your throat, is that still a Miller Lite? A second George Washington? Are you serious, Sly? What's being done to your country? Does it not make you cry? If your policies acquiesce till 1128, what on earth will be left if you're happy to wait? Not a country you'd say was in any way great. You can sit and do nothing while you watch her mutate. What if she then turns into what they called a slave state? Black and brown, keep your heads down in Trump's Crow Caliphate. He does what he wants now, that is patently clear. No moral constraints, just a will to domineer. From number 1 First Street, 6 of 9 give a cheer. No one dares call a halt. They are too full of fear. Who's left to ensure the next election takes place? Not Roberts's court, which is just a disgrace. The three lonely liberals can do nothing but weep as America's liberties pile up in a heap. How much more of this nonsense is your country to take? A president runs riot, a president on the make, a commander-in-chief who tears the US apart, while feathering his nest was his aim from the start. The scenes have been torn, but the judges hold fast, while Republicans tremble. That's quite the contrast. This Republican rump will be marked for all time as enablers and accessories to Trump's reign of crime. A government of pretense, a US pantomime. What footnote in history will the name Trump reveal? A fascistic US led by Donald Big Steel. Trump's words and his actions show he's out of his tree. He has always been mad. That's as plain as can be. Havel's tyrant enabler must live inside a lie. But the price to remove Trump is going to be high. Yet to let him continue, more people will die. Your comeuppance for your crimes can't be too far away. Frankly, the whole planet will cheer on that day, when the Trump slate is wiped and his reign's at an end. Will there be even one thing for a fool to commend? Corruption unbridled and with pardons for sale. Did Hernandez pay cash to get out of jail? Is the truth that you purchase with each pardon that's sold a thieves' congregation, so when you lie there cold, you'll have purchased some mourners, but you know full well no one else will be mourning when you're summoned to hell.